I know, from the design perspective, iPhone 18 Pro looks exactly like the iPhone 17 Pro, only the colors have been changed. But after taking a closer look at this dummy and after talking to my reliable sources, all I can say is that iPhone 18 Pro brings a lot of interesting changes under the hood. And if you've been following us, you already know how accurate we are. So why don't you take a seat, relax, and let me tell you every confirmed detail nice and slow. First of all, Apple might ditch their cosmic orange color completely. Yup. It's true, it will not only make the iPhone 17 Pro look outdated but some other Android phones too. And this time they are bringing one more color option, so instead of just 3, there will be 4 different color options to choose from, which is nice. First is obviously this dark cherry color that looks very unique, as you can see on this dummy. Then there is this light blue color which I think will replace the deep blue from last year. I think it's fine because that color was not really catching on. The silver that they had last year is renewed for the season 2, which is great because silver is my favorite too. And finally there's this dark grey color which is more or less black, at least in the renders. The frame is going to be the same as last year, so it will be as scratch prone as it was last year, so you'll have to protect it with a case. And you see this color difference between metal and glass, it will also reduce this time. And yeah, it's also reported that iPhone 18 Pro Max will be slightly heavier than last year, but the thickness will remain the same. Now this additional weight could be because of the battery, and I'll come to that in a bit, but first let me tell you about the cameras because Apple has finally done some major changes this time. First of all, the aperture size of the main and the telephoto lens will be bigger than last time, which is definitely a welcome change. But that's not all. The main camera now has variable aperture instead of the usual fixed aperture setup. This means that the lens can physically control how much light enters the camera depending on the scene. So in bright daylight, it can use a smaller aperture, and in low light shots, it can open up completely. Now, variable aperture is not entirely new. We last saw it on Samsung Galaxy S9, but it never really got popular. But now that Apple is doing it, everyone else will just copy. One more interesting change in the camera system is that Apple might replace one of the Sony sensors with the special 3-layer stacked image sensor by Samsung. It's a really big deal to be honest, because for more than a decade, Sony was the exclusive camera partner for Apple, but now the dynamics are changing. Now, it's not clear whether Apple will use Samsung sensor on all the iPhones or just the Pro Max, but it'll be interesting to see for sure. And for the selfie camera, chances are it could be upgraded to a 24 megapixel sensor, which could be nice. Oh, I almost forgot about the camera control. For the last 1 year, I've been forgetting about it, and now it's changing too. The capacitive layer that lets you swipe and control the camera settings, well, it won't be able to do that anymore. It'll work just as an action button for opening camera or maybe opening visual intelligence. Now, if I talk about the display, there are 2 major leaks going around. One says that the dynamic island will be completely gone and the entire Face ID tech will be under the display. And the other says that the dynamic island will still be there, but it'll be smaller than last time. Now, between these two, second one is the truth, because Apple being Apple, they won't give 2 years worth of update in just 1 year. They do the exact opposite. Apart from that, the display size and the refresh rate will still be the same, but this time Apple will be using a new LTPO Plus panel, and this new LTPO Plus tech will be more power efficient as well, so it'll help with the battery life as well. And speaking of the battery size will also be bigger on both Pro and Pro Max. It's not going to be a huge jump, and it's not going to be a silicon carbon battery too, but at least it's not the same as last time. And as per the leak, the iPhone 18 Pro will have 4288 mAh battery in the eSIM model, which is 36 mAh bigger than last time. And for the physical SIM variant, the difference will be 64 mAh. And for the Pro Max, sadly there are no numbers available at the moment, but if we find something concrete later on, we'll pin it in the comments. Performance wise, Apple has always stayed on top of its game. With the 18 Pro, Apple is finally moving from TSMC's 3nm process to the new and more power efficient 2nm process on the A20 Bionic. And since it's using the new wafer level multi-chip module, the RAM is integrated directly onto the same wafer as the CPU, the GPU and the neural engine. This will result in faster performance, more battery life and more space to fit in other components. Now, here's the serious thing. These new 2nm chipsets are at least 50% more expensive than last gen chipsets, so Apple might increase the price of iPhone 18 series, but it won't be a huge jump, because according to Apple analysts, Apple is going to follow an aggressive pricing strategy for the entire 18 series. So if you're thinking of upgrading to an upcoming iPhone, I think you can wait, because price hike on iPhones will not be as bad as price hike on Android phones. And by the way, Apple is putting a lot of effort in connecting connectivity as well, because the iPhone 18 series will now be able to connect to satellite 5G, and it's possible because of their in-house C2 modem. It's only the second generation of their C series model, and it's already giving tough competition to Qualcomm. The performance on this will be almost as same as Qualcomm. The millimeter wave 5G connectivity will get better from previous generations, and most importantly, it won't share all the location data with your mobile carrier. Another important addition to connectivity is that earlier satellite connectivity access was restricted only to SMS, but now it will be open to third-party apps like WhatsApp. So that was all the information about the iPhone 18 Pro and the iPhone 18 Pro Max. And if you're wondering where's the non-Pro, well, it's cancelled. Just kidding, guys. It's not cancelled. It's just that it's not launching in September this year. It will launch in next year around March or April, because Apple is now following a split launch strategy. So the non-Pro will launch in March or April every year, and the Pro and the Pro Max and the Ultra, they all will launch in September. So that's it for this video. What do you think about the iPhone 18 Pro? Do tell me in the comments. I look forward to reading them. And what do you think will be the price of the 18 Pro and the 18 Pro Max? Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.